everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a brand new speed build, and it's a special one because indeed it's a collaboration with a very good friend of mine and a fantastic fellow simmer, and it's the very lovely and wonderfully talented Mr Olkan. So roughly about a month ago, Mr Olkan got in touch to say that he was doing a collaboration series over on his channel, and he'd be collaborating with fellow simmers, just coming up with all sorts of different types of builds. Now, he asked me to come up with a creation which was kind of true to my style. He wanted me to recreate something that I was comfortable with, something that I loved. There was no specific theme or anything like that. The only stipulations were to build without the use of cats and dogs and seasons, and also to do a small to medium size build. So obviously, being me, I don't really do small, but quite a few of you have been asking me on the channel if I can do some smaller lots, and I did say after doing kind of like a medium sized lot not that long ago that I would be doing some more on the channel. So I figured that why not combine them both together? So I thought I would just do a very small lot. Now this is actually the 20 by 20 lot in Windenburg, and the build completed as it is comes in at 35,000 simoleons. So with it being a collaboration, my part of the collaboration was to do the build and do the whole exterior, and Mr Olkan's going to go ahead and do the interior. So basically, I decided to go with kind of like this cottage sort of feel, a very Windenburg-esque type of build, and just to do like a nice little country cottage. But I also wanted to add in a little bit of a modern element and do this sort of like glass section in the middle of the building. I know somebody asked me ages ago if I would do kind of an older build with a sort of a little modern twist to it, and I thought, well, yeah, I might as well do it all in one. So this is what I've come up with. So for those of you who don't know who Mr Olkan is, he's a fantastically talented simmer, and he does lots and lots of different styles of builds over on his channel, some ranging from suburban builds to absolutely beautiful modern builds, and he also uses a lot of CC as well. But he has some very interesting builds over on his channel, and two of my absolute favorites was a restaurant he did that was made out of a jet, and he actually created the jet as well, and he also did like a marina restaurant where he built a boat, and it's just absolutely incredible. He's very creative, and I love that. I love it when you come across another builder who just does stuff which is just completely from the heart, very creative. So what I'm going to do is leave the links to Mr Olkan's channel in the description box below, and also the second half of this collaboration, the link to that as well. So be sure to go and check it out. I know I'm going to, because I am so intrigued as to what he's going to do with the second half of this. I don't know whether he's going to do it traditional or modern, or both, whether he's going to use CC or not. But what I'll do is I will upload this to the gallery as it is, and feel free, if you like, to head over to Mr Olkan's channel and download the completed lot, which is fully furnished, or it's entirely up to you. You can download it as it is now and furnish it however you like. So I have to say, it was quite nice to do a smaller build, and it's been a really long time since I've done this kind of like small cottage feel. I did one several months ago, I think it was, on this particular lot, and this lot is actually one of my favorites in Windenburg. I'd say probably one of my favorites in the entire game. It's just a shame it's not absolutely huge, because if it was, I'd probably build on it all the time. But the particular lot where it is, it's on the very top half of the Windenburg map, and it's just so beautiful. It has like this lake to the right hand side and a waterfall, and it's very scenic, this particular spot. So I did want to kind of like build something that really complemented its environment as well, and I felt this one went really well. So I did put an easel as well in the back garden that was overlooking that lake. I thought your Sims, you know, they could create some really good reference paintings from the views from the back garden. So I'd say that my ideas for the landscaping was to create something that was just very, very kind of pretty. And there's lots of bushes, there's a little pond at the front, and I've used this little statue. It's like a little fairy statue from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, and it's one of my absolute favourites. And at one point I did actually find the little duck and I put it in the pond, and it made it look like she was bending down and feeding the duck, which was quite cute. But I did actually end up taking that out for some reason. But I do really love that. There's a lot of elements from the Romantic Garden stuff pack which are just absolutely gorgeous in, you know, especially in builds like this when you're trying to create something that's just very pretty to look at. So I did go ahead and use these little walls from the Romantic Garden stuff pack as well, and these are some of my favourite items. I did layer it up against the kind of like brick fencing to give this effect that, well, in my mind when I was building, I was thinking that this was a cottage that was maybe established a long time ago, but that maybe somebody had bought it and renovated it and obviously added in this middle glass section, and that wall could have originally been the original wall that came with the house. But yeah, I think this home would be really, really good for a single sim or even a couple of sims, maybe even for elderly sims that are retiring and they just want to kind of move somewhere that's nice and tranquil and quiet. It is very, very small inside. I just can't wait to see, actually, to be honest, what Mr Olkan does, like how he does the floor plan, because at the moment the inside is literally just an empty shell. So yeah, I'll be really interested to see what he does with it and what his thoughts and feelings are with the actual interior. But I just wanted to add as well that this is a quick edit into the voiceover too. We came to exchange builds and Mr Olkan is actually missing a couple of packs, so a couple of the items were missing. So I did re-download the build and actually change up some of the wallpapers and some of the plants. The build is very much the same as the one obviously I've built. I've just used some substitutions. So yeah, even more so, go ahead and check out his version of the build. I have included as well a screenshot at the very end which shows sort of the revised version of this build, so you'll be able to check it out that way too. So I hope you've all had a fantastic week. I actually had a really interesting night last night because whilst I was sat just peacefully building away and working on this build, me and my husband heard this massive bang, and lo and behold we looked out the window and there was loads of billowing smoke, and it turns out there was a huge explosion at the industrial estate at the end of our road. Now thankfully, as far as we know, no one was hurt, but there was loads of police, there was loads of fire engines, and yeah, there was quite a bit of drama, so that was quite interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, it'd be amazing to have you on board. And don't forget to check out those links below for Mr Olkan's channel, and then you can check out his half of the collaboration. But thanks so much guys, I'll see you next time, bye!